You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I can't. I have no idea. I'm really just glad to be out of the. Oh, well, hello there. It's good to see you. Uh, Welcome to the local watering hole. It's happy hour, and I've got my drink. I'm drinking a one of the house specialties here. It's a old fashioned, but put together with what we have or what they have here at the local bar. They're really well stocked. I don't know if you can tell. I'm really just happy to be here with you. I'm curious to see what happened in your day. I'm willing to talk about what happened in my day if you're interested. And I don't know, maybe we'll see if a little flirting happens or anything of those. Yeah, we'll see if a bar fight breaks out. That could be a thing. We don't know. Uh, I have my friend Chauncey over here. He's from out of town. Um, where did you say you were from? Des Moines, Des Moines, Iowa. If there's anybody else from Des Moines, uh, we might have some music later on. I don't know. They have a pianist here. There's a piano over in the corner over there, actually, and occasionally people go over and tickle the ivories. Personally, I'm not brave enough to do that. I don't really know how to play piano. I don't know about you, but I'm not musically inclined. Mm, mm. That is a drink. It is indeed. Oh, well, I'm glad to see you.
Hi.
Well, hello there, Mary. How are
How are
you?
you?
It's
I'm good.
fancy to see you here.
Hey, cheers. Tink. I did
Tink.
some advertising just now.
Oh, you did. You did.
Dry.
Dry. Yes.
This way.
Dry is the wettest of all of the dry sodas.
It's the wettest dry. So
Mm.
you get hammered, huh?
I had someone tell me one time that they did not think I was going to be very funny if I ever decided to do stand up,
Oh.
which they were unfortunately right. But the reason they said that was because I was far too dry. And I was like, man, maybe I should bring the wet. So I don't know who's the wettest comedian you can think of.
Hmm. My brain actually can't wrap around the word wet and comedian
Hmm.
without
What about moist? Can we call them
ooh,
moist
that
comedians?
word. That word makes
Hmm.
me think of like a really nervous, like middle schooler on the stage. They're moist.
Ooh.
Like clammy.
Uh, Clammy. A clammy comedian. Well, that's got some alliteration to it, so obviously that's going to be the way to go.
For sure. That's how you're going to
Mm-hmm.
market yourself.
Mm-hmm.
The clammy
I am going to be
comedian.
the clammiest comedian you'll ever hire. If you need a nice sheen of moisture with your audience, I'm your comedian. That's what it boils down
Man,
to.
there it is.
Mm-hmm. There it is. That's the I've been working on sales and marketing all day, and that was my crowning achievement right there.
Oh my gosh. I keep looking at your screen and you're like very well lit. I feel like, well, my camera on my computer's
Yeah. Well, it's amazing what you can do with $20 and living in a closet. Yeah, I still haven't come out of the closet.
you could stay in there considering.
I guess in your case, you'd be like very much like just stay in there.
I mean, halfway in, halfway out. There's really no choice.
Yeah, whatever.
I just don't want to be excluded from the closet or not the
Yeah,
closet. I don't know.
yeah,
One of the
yeah.
two.
Someone said something to me recently. It was about a beard, like saying somebody. There was a woman and saying something about a beard, and I was like, well, there's a lot of women that are beards. They just don't realize it.
Yeah.
How would you find out? I mean, that would be a tough thing to find out. And I do know people who have found this out.
Yes, me too.
All of a sudden, they were with somebody, and it was like,
Hmm.
but they didn't play for the team that worked out. So
Right.
That is I mean, not to say that that would actually be a good thing to find out, right? You don't want to live life as a lie.
Right.
You don't,
Right.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But it would be, it's still, there's like a little bit of like, oh, hmm, we just spent,
Yeah.
15 years together, and
Yeah.
that's a,
Yeah. That's got to be hard. I was actually
it's got
just
to be
thinking
hard.
about that. Just thinking about that today. I have a friend who went through that, and man, it was crazy because the whole time everybody was like, "Are you sure your husband's not gay? You sure your husband's not gay?" And we would even joke with him, like, because there were things about him that were like the stereotypical, I mean, where it's like, you sound a little,
Did he do things like, did he do things like, he listened to musicals?
yes,
Okay. Did he snap in the air whenever he talked?
not whenever he talked, but he did it a lot. And he would be like, "Oh, girl, you know what I mean," just on and on. I mean, he was very,
And this none of this keyed in for you early on.
oh no,
Like
it
that
did
was
for
not a thing.
me.
Like, oh, it did.
It
Okay.
did for me. We told them all the time. We were like, "Dude, are you sure?" Like to the both of them, it was like this ongoing joke. And then, oh my God! And then turns out that he had been having an affair. They were married for like 20 something years, and he'd been having an affair with a man that he worked with, and came home and was like completely out of the blue. Was like, "Hey,
By the way, um,
isn't that crazy though?" Like everybody kind of had this.
how do you start that conversation? Like you come home and you're like, okay, so real talk. Like we need to talk about something. Do you start with something that's a little bit of a softball and then you lead into that? Do you go, hey, you know how I said we're both Knick fans? I don't really like the Knicks. I'm much more of a fan of like the Celtics, right? And
Hmm.
then after that part of the conversation, you're like, also,
Yeah, I feel like that'd be hard to switch the subject.
I mean, yeah, do you just go right into it? Like, I don't know. I don't
I
know
would
if
like a band-aid,
anybody
just get it off,
just rip the band-aid off, just all the hair and
Yeah,
gunk
I
right
mean, it'll
off.
grow back.
Okay.
It's fine.
It's true. It is. It builds a callus, I'm sure.
Mhm.
Like a nice calloused area.
Nice
Yeah,
callus.
I think if it happens once, it's like it's tender, but like if it happens like multiple times, I guess you do get sort of like callous to the whole idea.
Yeah,
Do you think that happens? You're like, what? I
yeah.
mean, I wonder who that. I wonder if there's somebody that has happened more than twice.
More than twice?
Yeah,
Not that
like
I personally know of, but
no, I don't. I usually it's once, and then they kind of they've got the signs, right? You
there's a
see the
radar.
signs. Yeah, or yes, yeah. That was more like a Morse code.
Yeah, I knew what you were talking about, though. I did some sort of moose ear bug zapping,
Mm-hmm.
so it's fine. uh,
Um,
and I'm not
how
even.
many Zoom? Yeah, how many Zoom meetings were you in today?
Um, 1, 2, 3, 4. I was in 4. Um,
Mm.
my first one was 2, no, 5. My first one was 10 minutes. And then I was in a 2-hour one. And then I was in a 40-minute. And then I was in a 20-minute. And then I don't know how many I've said so far. The last one that I was in ended up being almost 2.5 hours.
Well, I already lost attention to what you were saying. Like even you just telling me about your Zoom meetings were exhausting, and I don't want to
Yeah.
participate.
Yeah, so you should feel very fortunate right now, really, that I'm like in front of a screen
Yeah,
again.
I don't understand why you're here, except that I begged you to be on here so I didn't talk to myself for 20 minutes
That's not
before I
true.
turned off the camera and wept in in the back of the bar in the bathroom.
In the other side of your closet.
Yes, the other side of my closet. Yes, indeed. Um, This could be like one of those speakeasies where it's like, oh yeah, well, you're special enough. You can come to the special section.
Ooh,
Do something like that.
that looks kind of cool.
It does. I actually wish I could go to a bar that did that.
They would just let you into somebody's bedroom randomly, or
Mm-hmm. 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 Hey, Stevie.
hi,
How are
Stevie.
you? You're welcome to join us for a drink.
You
or
should.
whatever you're into.
You just come sit in this room, and chatting happens. You should
Chatting
totally.
happens because I don't know how to be quiet. Is basically
That's what you should call this. Is
silence is uncomfortable. That's what I should call it. Silence is uncomfortable. Yeah, I don't know how people do like the YouTube thing where they talk into the camera for hours and hours and hours. That has never appealed to me.
yeah, I
You know,
don't.
like the people, like the political people that like rant and rant and rant. I don't know. But what's that guy? The guy that's, you know, I'm not trying to make any enemies, but the crazy guy with all the conspiracy theories. You know who I'm speaking of.
Donald Trump. I'm just kidding.
Not that guy. He's a different guy. I don't remember.
I'm not
Try
apologizing to
webcamming.
anybody who was jokes about that.
Yep. Yeah.
I imagine.
And in fact, Scott, yes, that is what she said. She just did. Hey, Lisa, how are you? Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. And again, everybody can jump on. I'm going to go ahead and post the... and keep in mind, it doesn't have to be just 2 people at the same time. It can be multiple people. Like lots. I can have 6. And they have enough. I'm going to try and adjust my camera a little bit. There. Now I'm short. And we know how you feel about short guys.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, you're gonna need to raise that up a little.
Mary is not a fan of the short guy. No offense to short guys.
Gosh, I wish. You know, here's the thing: is like, I'm also not. I don't need to be. I'm not. That's like, oh, to be 6'5" and blah blah. It's not that either. It's just that they can't be shorter than me. You know, like same height, fine. Tiny bit shorter, it just makes kissing weird. It makes like I just feel big, and I don't want to feel like I'm the bigger one.
I get that. I do get that. I do understand that. See, I just changed the camera angle, so you are not the short one.
Thanks.
You'll have to get on your tippy toes.
I'll just do this. There.
Yeah.
I'm way shorter.
Doing really great. It's great to be able to have drinks with people online. Don't we all?
You got to click the thing.
Coming from a grocery store, well, it would look like a store. It's supposed to look like a bar, but you try to do it on my minuscule budget. What are you drinking, Scott? I know you're drinking something at this point. Yes, indeed. So you were on 4 Zoom calls. That's pretty good. I got schooled today in marketing from my 19-year-old daughter. Can I tell you the story?
Yeah.
Can I tell you the story?
Absolutely.
So she does not consider herself a salesperson in marketing or anything like that, right? So I don't know if you know this, Mary. I am a published author. Granted, self-published, and not a bestseller. But
you've written more books than I have.
Working on it. Yeah, working on it. I'm working on it. But so the book is called. Do you remember what the book is called? I think we talked about it before. What was the book called?
The book that you just showed me?
Yes. No, the book that I wrote.
The last.
Yeah, you can't even remember. Yeah, you can't even. Yes, I know. I've written like 12, but in this case, the big one that I wrote just recently. What is the name of the book that I just recently wrote? Do you remember?
A sales book for people who hate sales.
Yes. So try saying that 5 times real fast. You can't do it. It's too long. So I was like, I was talking to her and I was like, I'm gonna do my Raymond voice. I was like, ah, ah, ah. And I was like, hey, I need to change up the branding, and I like wrote up, and I had this one. It was like another ridiculously long title, and she's like, it's too long. You just need to make it simple. And I was like, oh, yes, you're right. I need to make it simple. So I went, and I was able to. Oh, thank you, Lisa. Where did you put that? Bought yours on Amazon. It's a great book. You're gonna love it. It's gonna get retitled, but you're gonna love the one that you got already. Nothing's gonna change. Just the outside look of the book is gonna change. But like, yeah, I found out like, whoops, too long of a title. So I'm gonna simplify everything, and that'll be good.
Yeah.
So that's what I did most of today. Was first I fretted, then I panicked, then I did some research, then I came to the wrong conclusion, then I talked to her. Then I found the answer. And then I forgot to start this at 5 o'clock because I was too busy futzing around with trying to come up with a new logo and whatnot. Now, you did see the logo. What did you think?
I like it. It's very
right.
simple.
Simple, yes. Mm-hmm. Much like myself. Simple man.
You're a simple.
Mm-hmm. I need to do a COVID-19 sales book. Yeah, it could be argued that the book I did is, but it doesn't say it in the title. So I actually agree with you, Lisa, and I might be releasing one tomorrow. That might be a thing that happens as I release that tomorrow.
Good suggestion.
The thing I found is I wrote this ridiculously long book. It is a stupid long book. The problem is nobody wants to read really long books. So I decided to also split it off into like, it's like 15 other books. So that's what I did.
It's a lot of books.
Yeah. It's a lot of books. Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of books. But
the ones that you've re-released are really specific. They're like, I think that's really cool because it's like this one thing that you might be looking for.
Yeah, the big sales thing there is it takes less than an hour to read it. So that's pretty good.
Yeah. Wait, did you account for people that are really slow readers like me?
I did. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So what I did was I was like, I got to read it backwards. If I can read it backwards within an hour, anybody can read this forward within an hour. So I basically read it manga style, where I went from back to forward. And the pronunciations are pretty hard.
I can imagine. Yes, and to be a fly on the wall while you were doing that. Like, what?
Yeah, it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. And I think we talked about this, and maybe I talked about it earlier, but I'm doing audiobooks, and I finally finished the first chapter of the audio, because you got to send like a test chapter to the rights holder so that they can like look at it and go, or listen to it and go, yeah, you're on the right track, or no, like your voice sounds like garbage, or maybe cut down on the soda because that's, you're belching into the microphone. So, but this one I had to do, I made the bad decision to do accents, and I am about the worst at doing accents. I'm pretty bad.
Okay.
And so, like, Mary, do an Irish accent. Go.
I don't think I can.
Here, read this in an Irish accent.
I always go to British.
Yeah, go for it. Do British accent then. Even a British accent. Like, try it.
Hi, sunshine. We went to Bend today so Dad could get his credit card fixed, and we picked up groceries at Freddy's. It's so good to see your face. We love you.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Maybe I should get you to do it.
The British one, I worked on this. I've worked on it.
Yes, and the reason you worked on it because you listen to a lot of British shows and you need to be able to understand what they're saying.
Don't give out my secrets.
I'm totally going to give out your secrets. So when you think about British shows, you think about like Downton Abbey. Downton. It's not downtown. Downtown Abbey. No, it's not Downton. It's Downton, not downtown. I have no idea. It
I haven't
didn't work
watched
for
that
me.
show. Yeah.
Neither have I. I have tried 3 times. I have tried to watch that show, and someone's gonna light me up in the comments if anybody's paying attention and tell me what a dullard I am for not being able to follow along with that show. But whatever, I've tried. But Mary, that's not the type of show you like. You like British,
Baking shows.
yeah,
British
which is pretty
baking
cool.
shows.
Yeah, and they're pretty great. Yeah, watch the hot heck out of BBC Scotland. Yeah, F a Scottish accent, by the way. Have you ever tried a Scottish accent? Mary, try a Scottish accent.
Scottish. Isn't that a thing?
Ugh, it's so close, but your tongue has to like stay to the bottom of your mouth. It's ridiculous. It's so hard.
Scottish. I just sound like I can't talk
Yes,
with my tongue like that.
What's the heck? No, I can't even do. I cannot do accents. I'm gonna give up on accents altogether. So I basically sent him a message saying, Here's the recording. I apologize for my accents because I don't even know why I did them. He didn't ask me for them. I just was like, this guy's name is Conley, which is a very Irish name.
Totally.
He's got red hair and freckles. He's basically a leprechaun. And I was like, well, I can't, you don't hear too many leprechauns with this accent. Hey, fuck a pot of gold right over here. Yeah, you don't hear that.
That's true.
No, you don't. I think it would be kind of fun. Like, why wouldn't there be like a Jersey leprechaun? Why isn't that a thing?
You need to make that.
Mm-hmm.
Can you have that on your other podcast? Because that would be funny.
Possibly. That would be a possible fun thing. Mm-hmm. And then we're getting joined by Sean. Sean, I didn't know you frequented local watering holes. Well, it's good to see you.
I mean, only the best ones, but yeah.
Hi, Sean.
Hello, Mary.
It's nice that we all have name badges, right?
Yeah, that worked out well.
Yeah, it's good. It helps keep track of everybody. What's this? Mary Berry and Paul Hollywood are my heroes.
Oh my God.
I don't know who either of those two people are.
Dude,
awesome.
Those are the judges from the Great British Baking Show.
Oh, I thought that was 3 people.
No, Mary Berry is the name, and then Paul Hollywood. But then Mary Berry retired, and they put in Prue. I forget her last name. Anyway.
Well, does her name rhyme as well? Is it also an alliteration of some sort?
No, but I want my
Prue
Berry. Like,
Mary Berry. Like, when you're naming kids, do you do that on purpose, or is that just a stage name?
The person.
Sean, would you ever name any of your kids? Would you have their first name rhyme with their last name?
Checking to see if I do.
Yeah.
No.
It would be like Kessler. No, that's
yeah.
That doesn't work at all.
At all.
I don't know.
Stuart, your last name though, you could, right? You could wait, could you?
Yeah, it could be like Bryce Rice.
Bryce.
Or yeah, Bryce.
How about
thank you, Mom, for not doing that to me.
Yeah. Lice rice.
Lice.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't have that issue anymore. My back hair. Maybe on my back. But
it gets in your beard and it's hard to get out.
It's so itchy. Yeah. But it's nice because like I don't have to worry about crumbs then. They take care of it. That just grossed Mary out. That's great.
You did. So how about D Nice Rice?
D Nice Rice.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. Sean, what did you have any Zoom meetings today? How many Zoom meetings did you have to sit through?
Today, I personally had 0. Well, I lied. Dang it. I forgot about one. We had a meeting with the preschoolers, teachers, who were just checking in on us.
That's cool.
Making sure that you still had preschoolers?
Yeah.
They get away, man.
They run off, and then you can't find them, and I'm not allowed to leave the house. So once they're gone, they're
Just kind
gone.
of like, well, hopefully they give them some graham crackers in their pockets, and hopefully they
Yeah.
find them, and leave a crumb trail, and come back.
There's a lot of crows around here. I don't think it'll work.
Ugh, that's the worst. So when my son was little, like he was like 3, we were in Bend, Oregon, and we were camping, and he got on like this like tricycle thing and rode off, and I was supposed to be watching him, but I wasn't doing a very good job, and pretty soon we were like, "Where's Catcher?" So we had this like mad search to try to find him. Finally, he eventually came back. So, like anything, if you let them go and they come back, that's when they know. That's
Yeah.
when you know they really truly love you.
Works every time.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when we decided to buy a leash, because that was much easier to keep track of everybody. And that was for me.
Yeah.
So they put the
Yeah.
leash on me, so I paid
Just put an RFID in them.
Yeah, just inject it right in the neck.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it.
Or on the
What
forehead.
else is going on with you, Sean? What's new?
Not too much. Not too much. It's hard to do new things when you're stuck at home.
It is. It is. I'm trying to think if there was anything like I honestly I feel like I've learned a lot about myself by staying home so much. I found out that I can get bored of things I never thought I'd ever get bored of. That's the thing that happened,
Yeah.
and that was uncomfortable to find out. What? Huh? Sorry. What? Oh, you made dinner? Oh,
I think that's
I'll
true.
be out later.
I've gotten bored like watching TV.
Yeah, watching.
I don't want to watch
Yeah.
TV right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mary and I both have Switches, and we're playing Animal Crossing, but I even find that the menial, boring tasks in that are becoming boring.
Yeah.
Wow. That's like meta boring.
It's like boringception.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been trying to write a book.
Cool.
Really?
So, yeah.
Wow.
Aspiring to be like you.
Oh yeah, no, you're definitely gonna be better than I am. What kind of book are you writing, if you don't mind me asking?
The thing is, I've started so many that it's hard to narrow it down to one. But the one I've worked the most on recently is a fantasy novel about a goblin that got turned into a rat.
Cool.
That's the gist of it.
Okay, a goblin
Yeah.
that got turned into a rat.
Yeah.
Interesting. Is that how every time I've ever played a role playing game, whenever you kill the rats, you get gold? Is that maybe that's the answer? Is that
No, it happens in real
goblins?
life too, Stuart.
Really?
Yeah. Have you never set a rat trap?
No. You know, I've been looking for a job. I think maybe instead I'll just go grab some
Start my
rat
job.
traps and
Yeah.
start doing that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. Yeah. How much time do you get to do that? Is that like an in between, like this and that thing, or
Yeah. It's like 15 minutes a week, so it's going really fast.
really good?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got like 2,500 words down. That's definitely a book.
Nice.
But yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it takes a long time to write a book. I didn't realize how long it was going to take.
Yeah. So many words.
And well, it's not even the words. Like writing the book actually wasn't so bad. That happened pretty quickly. It was the realizing how shitty of a writer I am.
Oh yeah.
That was the thing that took all the
Yeah.
wind
That's
out of your
disheartening.
sails. Oh my god, it was so bad.
Like, who wrote
Yeah.
this crap?
Yeah, it's like I go back and I'm like trying to read the audiobook and I'm like, this isn't a sentence. There's no preposition. There's no noun. How do you write a sentence with no nouns?
But it had 7 commas.
That cut a little too close. Yeah. I think commas might be the most, like we talk about like what are the most abused things in America? And I think the comma is the most abused thing.
Hmm.
Yeah, we need to have a fund just to protect commas from
Yeah,
how badly they're abused.
they're multiplying.
They are multiplying. We need what eats a comma? Is it a semicolon?
Mm.
No one uses a semicolon. I love a
They're
semicolon.
hard.
Yeah.
They're hard.
Yeah. They are hard.
Because I'm always like, nah, I should just change it to a period.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, 90% of the time, that's what you should do. Is just go.
Yeah.
This can be the end of that thought.
Yeah.
I just like the way they look. I feel smart when I write
Yeah.
with the semicolon. It's the only time I feel smart. Sometimes
Yeah.
I'll just do a page of semicolons because I'm like,
Here we go. One of my favorite quotes about a politician involves a semicolon.
dude.
It was said about Bill Clinton that when he spoke, you could hear him say his semicolons.
That's pretty great. That was
Yeah. Just inflected it just right.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that. What would be if you had to pick some sort of punctuation to describe your way of talking? Like, how would you describe that? Mary, how would you describe your way of talking using only punctuation? Bill Clinton,
one?
obviously a semicolon. What's that?
One particular punctuation marking.
Yeah.
That's hard because it would either be an exclamation point or it would be an ellipsis.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
The ellipsis
I
is
feel
actually
for myself it would definitely be an ellipsis.
Yeah.
I think I'd go with parentheses.
Oh yeah. That's a good
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
A lot of like asides. And
Yeah, a lot of aside. I don't have anything like main to say, but I can throw in a comment here and there
Mm-hmm.
if someone else can keep the conversation alive.
Yeah. Yeah, you just kind of like come in and that's your punctuation is like, and blah, 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 blah. Like, just like that. Yeah, I think that's necessary. I think, what is I mean, you kind of need all sorts of punctuation in a conversation. So when you think about it, like, you need someone who can make the definite statements, right?
Yeah.
Like, because everybody's got to be able to work off of that. And then there's always that person that's like, but did you think about, maybe that's my thing, is the question mark, because that would be the thing. Is like, hey, did you think about, you need the exclamation point because someone needs to be like the blowhard.
Or just somebody who's excited.
Yeah.
Or someone who's excited, yeah. The parentheses, because that's how you get the funny little asides and you get the like
Yeah.
in between parts. Yeah, I don't know.
And there's like the M dash, who's just the esoteric asshole.
Yep. Yes. Yes, indeed. I'm glad that's not my punctuation. I now want to get a t-shirt, though. I think it would be kind of fun to get t-shirts
Oh
of
yeah.
all the different punctuation marks and just kind of like live that for a day. Like, if you're going to like live a parentheses or live a... Yeah, who would pick a bracket? Like, what is a bracket in a conversation, you think?
Mm.
I'm just looking at my keyboard.
Yeah, I don't know. As a computer programmer, I associate it with lists of things. They usually surround lists, but like I've never seen it actually used in English sentences. I don't know.
Sure, but now if we're talking about the list person, there's always a list person.
Yeah,
Right? There could be.
could be.
Yeah. Ampersands? Yes, and. The yes, and person.
That person has to be fancy. They
Yeah.
totally have to be a hipster.
Mm-hmm.
Or they like to take shortcuts.
Ampersand is what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah. I tried to grow a little bit of a handlebar just to mess with Mary, and it messed with her enough that she told me I had to cut it off immediately.
I was like, oh my God, why?
What's wrong with you?
Okay.
I just immediately was
That was basically the
why
answer.
is that on your face?
Yeah. I was like, I just want to see if I can. And I could. It came up. Like, it looked like I was smiling the entire time. Is that the idea behind a handlebar mustache? Is that it looks like you're smiling? It's just the happiest facial hair?
I
don't
have
think-
no idea.
I don't know if there's any idea behind.
I don't know why it's a thing.
It's a thing because it can be. Why'd we climb that mountain? Well, because it's there. Why did you grow that facial hair? Because it grew, right? And then you just kind of go from there. Then you try to create some sort of meaning behind it. Why did you climb Mount Everest? Because I needed to make sure that it was possible. And I wanted to show, like, humans are capable of doing so much more.
And that's why
Why
you
did you grow that handlebar mustache?
Stretchy.
I just wanted to prove that I could be as loathsome as possible.
Oh, man.
It is.
Yeah, that's a short-lived mustache.
So what do you guys got planned for this weekend? Any exciting things this weekend?
Ooh.
Hmm.
No?
No.
My
Probably
weekend
gonna-
is my week, you know. It's
Yeah.
all smushes all together.
We might watch a movie.
Oh, movie. That sounds good. Go for Porn Stash. You know, I've actually considered, like, because being as unemployed as I have been, and being at home now as much as I am, and obviously, like, that's the end, right? Like, there's no social outings anymore. The Porn Stash does actually, it kind of intrigues me. Like, what would I look like with a porn stash? Have you ever tried one, Sean?
Robin would kick me out of the house.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, totally. Yeah, I agree. I don't think anybody wants that.
Plus, you would
But
you would fall asleep and then wake up and forget you had it and look in the mirror and you'd be like, "What?"
What? Did I just molest myself or something along those lines? You know?
Yeah.
Did I slip myself a Mickey or whatever it is?
Oh,
What's
sure.
it-
Act like you don't know. A roofie.
Thank you. Obviously, you do.
I've
Did you
used it
see
in
my
a story.
TNT?
That's all.
Oh, right. Yes, about goblins.
Yeah.
That's what happened. The goblin got roofied, woke up
And, yeah. It was a
as
rat.
a rat.
See,
Yeah, that's what happens. That's
it's an
what
extreme form of
No.
date rape.
So, Mike, I feel like I'm gonna have to find this, this picture. So I'm gonna spend just a second trying to see if I can find the picture. I'm not seeing that picture. No, I don't. If you could post that, that would be great. Just put it in the comments. I think that's great. I just think that I can't get it to stop. Okay. I think that that's one of those things, like, it's a rite of passage. Like, I feel like you have to have something like that where it's nothing anybody would want. But you just have to, like, do it just to see what happens.
That was my high school mullet, I think.
You had a mullet? You did have a mullet in high school. I
Yeah.
think I saw your high school picture
Yeah.
with that.
So I can skip the porn stash phase.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, I mean,
I've already
you
made
did
my
in high
mistakes.
school. Yeah, mistakes were made.
By me. You know.
I actually talked to someone who had done the exact opposite, had shaved the back and left the front long, and I was like, oh, that's like the opposite of a mullet. That's really interesting. That's like the
Inverted
skater
mullet?
look. Do you remember the skater
Yeah,
look?
yeah, it's kind of skatery.
Yeah. Yeah. I never did any of those hairstyles because I couldn't do any of them.
Read hair.
Did you go bald at 17?
I felt like it. Maybe I should have. I get more compliments on my head now than I ever did when I was in high school. That's a weird thing to say. You know what the thing I always wanted but I could never do was a crew cut. When I was younger, I really wanted a crew cut, but I had such like wispy hair. Just
Yeah. My dad was in the army, so that never had any appeal.
no. I think it was because someone told me I couldn't have one. I couldn't grow one. So I was like, well, now I wanna.
Yeah.
But then also, I don't think that would look good. Plus, I have the technology now. If I want to try any sort of facial or head hair, I can do it.
Yeah.
I
Just
put
on your
hair on
just
my
on your
head.
messenger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Give yourself a
A
stupid
mullet?
hat too.
Yeah, definitely mullet. And the we used to call it a hockey haircut. Did you ever call it a hockey haircut?
A mullet? You call it the hockey haircut?
Yeah, it felt like all the hockey. We didn't have any hockey players where I lived, but we for some reason we always called it a hockey haircut. I think it was popularized. I think the mullet was very popular with the hockey crowd. Is anybody a mullet expert, a mulletologist, if you will?
I'll have to mull that over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Parentheses.
true.
So we cut. Soccer cut. Oh, I guess it's like any. Is it goal oriented hairstyles? Did I lose everybody's?
No.
No, I didn't. Okay. I thought I went deaf there for a second. It was really terrifying. Yeah. Yeah.
That's funny because that's
Everyone had one. Oh, Greg, you got to tell us, like, did you have one of these hockey/soccer haircuts? Was that a thing that you had? I somehow got out of all of that middle area of school. It's middle school, right? Was it middle school or was it high school? Oh, we lost you.
Sean might be muted.
Did I mute him? No. Or he's talking really quietly.
No.
Oh, of course. All right, man. I want to see these pictures. Like, please, if you can put them in the comments, that would be outstanding.
I had a mullet.
Oh, we lost him.
As a grown-up. Yeah, as a
grown-up, you had a mullet?
As a grown person.
We deserve some explanation.
So it was
97.
About 8 years ago. See, 97.
That was not 1997. You have no good excuse. 8 years ago. Okay, go on.
Okay. So I went in and I asked for bangs, straight across bangs. And so that's what I got.
The Dumb and Dumber.
Okay, except that it's not like that on girls. It's like, cute, not awkward. However, my haircut ended up being really freaking awkward because it was like bangs, and then it was all this other, like, she did layers all around. So it basically ended up, I I said to her, you gave me a mullet. And she goes, yeah, but it's like one of those like rock star mullets, It's like, I didn't ask for a mullet.
But okay, so was it something that was like horrific, or was it like I could play it off? I'm cute. It's like if anybody knows the original Star Trek movie Voyager, like you see the Mary, I know you haven't seen it, but but like Voyager is like possesses this humanish female, but she's got a bald head, but like she can play it off because she's like pretty. Is it like one of those type of mullets?
I don't know. I hated it and wanted it to go away as fast as possible. I did everything I possibly could to make it not look like that's what was going on with my hair.
What kind of things do you do? The shag is the modern
shag. Well, yeah, I don't know. I would wear it up. I wore it up a lot because then I could just pull all of the just make it look like it was part of my ponytail.
Okay.
And I did a lot of manipulating with the round brush to make it kind of all seem like it wasn't just this. It was awful. And it took 2 years to grow out.
Oh, that is awful.
Yeah, dude. You go for
Oh, okay. Hold on a second. Hold on a dick. All right. Oh yeah. I'm not laughing. I might be laughing. Okay. Keep talking.
me.
Was that the worst haircut you ever had?
You know, I think so. Well, as a grown up, for sure. I also had another haircut when I was in elementary school that was like the bob, but my hair was super straight, and so it was like to here, like right below my earlobes and straight, like all the way around. And I loved it at the time, but I've looked back and been like, why? Why is that a
Mm-hmm.
thing? But I'm pretty sure I was the one that asked for it. So,
And how old were you at that point?
I think I was in third grade.
Oh, well, third grade doesn't count. Like anything below fourth grade, I feel like it's either your parents have made that decision or you're a kid and you're like you don't care. You just like I don't have to brush it, done. You know?
Yeah,
What was the reason that you were attracted to this hairstyle?
somebody else had it. It's always like the cool chick, the cool girl, or the whatever. Like they're all getting their haircut this one particular. So it was like, thank God my mom never let me do a perm because everybody was getting perm.
Everybody had a perm.
Not like the tight, crimpy kind of perm, but like a loose, wavy perm. And I was like, oh my God, mom, I want one so bad. And she never would let me. And I remember being so pissed at her.
Yeah, and she was just protecting.
I'm so glad she didn't let me.
Aw, you can pull off any style. You have pretty hair.
Thanks, Leah.
Yeah, thanks for not saying that about myself. Even Bon Jovi. Buzz cut by dad every time before picture day. Oh man, what an awful thing to do. That is just an awful thing to do. It's like, well, I mean, basically you're just saying your hair is not worthy of this picture. Yeah, this haircut was not intentional. I think I've told you this story, right?
Yeah.
So this was my ex-wife was cutting my hair and took the trimmers and went, oh, sorry. It's like you hear whoops. It's like, oh, well, I guess it's all going away now.
Do you think it was actually an accident?
I don't know. I don't know. I think she was
hoping it would go there.
I don't know. Maybe I don't. We'd have to ask her, but I don't know if she. She probably.
I cut my own hair, by the way.
You did a nice job.
It's a quarantine cut.
Yeah, I've seen some bad ones. That one's pretty good.
Yeah. It's hard. I watched a YouTube video of a guy trying to explain it, but he didn't wear glasses, so he didn't have the problem of running into your glasses all the time or taking them off and not being able to see what the fuck you're doing.
Right. Yeah. Both those things can be pretty difficult.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you use clippers or?
Yeah, clippers on the side and just some whatever scissors I could find for the top.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
Do you do the like you hold it and then you like pull it up and snip?
I tried, but it wasn't really working, so I just cut a bunch at random lengths. I was like, yeah, that's fine.
Nah.
It'll work.
It looks good.
Do you think Go ahead. Sorry, Mary. Go ahead.
Oh no! I just said it looks good.
Thanks.
What are the jobs that are going to be the most sought after this whole crisis? Obviously, hairstylists and barber. I think are going to be. They aren't going to know what to do with themselves. They're going to be like, we have so much business.
Oh,
A masseuse.
Yes.
Masseuse, yeah. Yep.
Nail salons.
Yeah.
Nail salons, yeah. I could
I
see
got a
that.
text from my nail place today. They said, we're open on Monday. It's like, okay,
Really?
yes. Yeah, Colorado's
Must be
opening.
essential.
It's two essential
Colorado's
things.
open for business, huh?
Yeah, not really. People are like, yay, everything's open. And like, no, it's still safety.
But nobody's going.
Safety in place. There's some things that are allowed to open on Monday,
Okay.
but still no
My-
like nightclubs or anything.
Yeah, my friend Erica went back to work, so she's selling mattresses. I don't know to whom, but she's selling something to somebody. Which is
She's got a
cool.
good Facebook thing going every day talking about selling mattresses.
Yeah, she's good at that. I'm
She is.
particularly bad at it. Tailoring first, all the Amazon. Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
because
yeah.
you buy all that stuff off of Amazon and it never fits properly. You got to go take it. In fact,
Yeah.
I went to Lisa just to give Lisa a plug. I've taken Lisa. She's a tailor here in. Is tailor both masculine and feminine? I just want to make sure I've got the.
So,
Okay, so she's a tailor here in Gresham, Oregon, which is where I live. I am. Maybe you can remind Lisa. You can remind me the name of the place, but I can always take her in like the worst. Like I have shamelessly bought suits off of Groupon for $40 each and taken them into her, and she's tailored them and they look awesome. And I always get compliments on them like, "Oh, that suit, man, how did you afford that?" And it's like, easily, easily afforded this suit, but thank you. It's a Louis Vuitton.
Nice.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Hems in a hurry. That's it. 28 years in business.
oh,
She's
cool.
been around for a while. And it's crazy because she's only 32. So, go figure. Yeah. So, yeah, I think that all of those things. I'll tell you what's in way too many right now are coaches. Like, if you're on Facebook, you're seeing a coaching. I don't know. What ads are you seeing on Facebook these days? Like, what are you seeing the most of?
Shopping.
Are you seeing shopping?
Video games.
Really? Which video game?
I don't even know. Just a bunch of apps like world building or
Yeah, it's always like free to play, huh?
yeah, free to play.
Yeah.
Free to play. That is a business I never thought would take off, but who knew? Not me.
It is,
I didn't
yeah.
invest in any of them.
No.
What was the one that everybody it was Zynga, right? Remember
Zynga. Yeah. They're still around.
They are still around, but they were like the biggest thing ever for like 4 months, and then they imploded. Did they get bought by somebody?
I think they might have been bought. I don't remember who.
All that stuff is highly interesting to me, and probably not of any interest to anybody else.
I sent you my mullet picture. Did you get it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I went ahead and posted that in the comments.
Oh, yeah.
I think. If not, I'll try it again. But yeah, that is a phenomenal picture.
That would have been
It is like the
90,
quintessence-
94, 95.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll see if I can find any of my like high school pictures. I had hair. That was one thing I did have. I look pretty similar. I just had hair and no facial hair.
Yeah.
That makes you look very different, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, it was just me upside down.
Yeah.
Really weird nose.
Yeah. Yeah. Here, why don't you smell this? I can't, dude. But I can tell you
Put it up
exactly what
here.
that balloon smells like. You know. I can't smell the flowers, but that tree. You know.
It's
Watch
awesome.
out, there are birds flying overhead. You know, you don't want to snort that.
Yeah.
Ooh.
All right. I'm going to bounce out of here. I got some kids to put to bed.
Yeah, sounds good. All right.
All right.
Well,
It's
thanks
good
so much
chatting
for
with you
coming,
guys.
John.
Yeah.
Bye,
See
John.
you later.
Bye.
Bye. That was fun. I
Yeah.
haven't talked to Sean in a very long time.
Did you?
I
It
like
sounds
him a
like you
lot.
went to elementary school together.
We did not.
Oh,
I know. I actually out of here, night all, wishing Smooshy movie, watching Smooshy movie with the husband. Oh, that's a great movie. What's that movie? What is it? It's Death to Smoochie. I don't know if you have you ever seen that, Mary?
no. Oh.
No. It's funny. It's got it's basically it's like about Barney, but like the seedy underbelly of the Barney experience.
Ooh, dark.
Smooshy is like this Barney-like character, and Edward Norton plays Smoochy, if I'm not mistaken. It's been like maybe 15, 20 years since I've seen the movie, but it's pretty funny. It's pretty good movie. I think that's like one thing that we can all benefit from is knowing what the movies are that everybody's watching. Now, right now, all I want to do is watch Community. Like, that's the only show I want to watch. I love that show so much. And it was funny because I posted up that post the other day on Facebook, which is really, I notice I'm bringing up Facebook a lot, but it's because that is our social interaction right now for the most part. So,
yeah.
Anyway, so I posted that up, and someone actually watched 2 episodes based on my suggesting it. And she was like, I can't stand it. And I was like, I totally get that. Also, thank you for watching that because I suggested it and you watch it. That's pretty cool.
I mean, it was a show that got canceled, right? So
multiple times. All the shows I love get canceled multiple times. What happens is they're like, this show is not marketable. So what they'll do is they'll cancel it. And someone like me who accidentally got into a position of power will go, that show's available? I'll totally pay for it. And then they'll buy the rights to the show and air it for a couple more years until that company goes, what the fuck are we doing? Get rid of it. And then somebody else will maybe do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that's happened to a lot of shows. Like Futurama is definitely one of those. And Community.
Futurama had a good run.
It did have a good it did have a good run.
Yeah.
I love that show.
It's
I
fun.
didn't think there was a show I could love more than The Simpsons, and it turned out, Futurama might have been that.
It's pretty funny.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, Mary, what do you think? We just I had a drink. You had a drink.
And
We had a
stuff.
nice conversation tonight.
Yeah, I did.
We got to see some mullets, which is not something you normally get to see in this day and age, the 2020s.
Yeah,
Although I guess you don't get to see very much of any hairstyles these days, but
that's true. You know what though? There is a mullet thing. It's always around. It always is. It always makes its.
yeah, there's a subset.
Like Aaliyah said, it's called the shag now.
Yeah.
My sister's got a mullet. She specifically asked her hairdresser for a mullet.
And the hairdresser was okay with that, huh?
They're trying their hardest not to have it be. She's getting like a rat tail. I don't know.
What?
She's rebelling.
No, rat tail? Like that is definitely like late elementary school.
It's
was
like
the rat tail. That's like the Padawan hairstyle.
So I mean, I am just saying, like, I feel like the mullet, the conversation of the mullet is going to be ageless, timeless.
It could be it's a timeless look.
We should look back on this in 50 years.
What are hairstyles going to look like 50 years from now? What do you think?
Some of them.
If you go look at Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure or Bogus Journey, where they show the future, it's like always like tilted up and slanted. And is it Kid and Play like whoop, like that, or what is it?
I don't really know, because I think we're almost getting back to the like right now we're getting back to like the more natural.
Yeah, which stuff. I like.
people
I
just let
like the
their hair
natural
like
thing.
grow and do whatever. But I don't know. I think it would be interesting to look at how that's changed over time, um, and what continues to come back, because I'm sure that there are like classic styles um, throughout history. So we'll still have some of those, but some weird, like maybe there'll be what's the word I'm looking for? Where you like press something in the haircut and it brings up like a little loop thing, like a screen.
A little button.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, yes. Like a heads up display, like you can push a button and it,
Yeah,
you think like holographic hair is going to become a thing? Like maybe we'll get to the point where we just like we get rid of all the hair follicles and we just have it empty, bald, and then we just project things.
maybe.
Yeah, I think that'll eventually happen with clothing. Actually, I read a book recently. Oh, nope. Somewhere. Oh, thanks, Chauncey. This book, All Our Wrong Todays. I actually really did enjoy this book. The best part about it, so it talks a little bit about like being a clothing designer, but it's like the clothing is just projected, so you don't have to worry about materials, you don't have to worry about cost. Look at these chapters though. Like that's how you write a book these days.
Dude, that's
I could
amazing.
read a chapter in like 2 minutes, and it was like, oh, I guess I could read the next chapter. Oh, I guess I could read the next chapter. It was like
Yeah.
went through the book pretty quick, and I like chapters like that.
Yeah.
I should have asked Sean about how he prefers his chapters. He's a big reader, which is why I think his book will be a better fantasy novel than mine. Is it okay to eat the orange peel? Is that a weird thing?
I don't eat orange peels. Did you wash it?
Yeah, I did. I actually did.
It's COVID
I
free.
took good. Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
It's like a stick of chewing gum. I just grossed out somebody, I'm sure.
No, that's, yep.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
On that note.
Mm-hmm. Why don't we call it? All right. Thanks so much, Mary. I really appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, it was fun.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you, everybody who wrote in the comments. Hopefully this was fun. I had fun. Did you have fun?
Yes.
Good. All right. Well, see you later.
Bye.